Hello, how are y'all? I feel like it's my Tylenol. It is raining here, so hopefully my service doesn't glitch out or we lose service too quickly. But I'm back downstairs here enjoying a little bit of brightness, so I'm gonna wait for everybody to get in here. Make sure I have everything. Hey, cool gamer, how you doing? We have like three solid things to talk about today. I mixed things up, so hey, Frazzled, we are going to talk. I'm going to do a brief and very brief recap of what we know about Kiely and wrap that up for as far as my channel goes. We'll touch on it if something new comes up, but right now I don't think it's going to come up. But so we're going to touch on that, where we're at with that. Hey, Punkette, but that's going to be brief. We are going to talk about Eliza Fletcher. There has been some new details in it that happened this weekend, and that we know about, and I wanted to go over some of that stuff. And the third is we were going to go over Crystal Anderson, and we're still going to go back there and talk about her. But there is Lucian, I believe is how you say his name, Munguia. He is a 4-year-old boy missing, and we're going to talk about him as well. But yes, so here's the deal. Like I said, this is going to be a brief Kiely. Here's where we're at. Here's where we're going forward as far as my channel. Like I said, if something breaking happens, obviously I'm going to talk about it, but I'm not going to dissect it every day. I'm not going to talk about the same thing over and over again. I'm not going to do it. As for me, I can't control anybody else, but for me, that's where I'm at. I don't know her mother. I don't know what it's like to be a grieving mother, but I can tell you what, I especially don't know what it's like to be a grieving mother where the entire country is focused on how my kid passed away and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to judge her. And as far as the kids that are involved, you know what? I don't know. I don't know. There are things that are, hey, Angel Bear, hey, Emily, hey, Angel Bear. There are things that are weird. I'm not going to lie. There's definitely things that are weird. But one of these kids is going to get hurt because we're going to keep playing it over and over and over again. And that's just my opinion. So, hey, UFC Frog. Hey, Bow. I don't know. Isn't that weird how that. It's weird how it's pronounced two different. I just said me how it's pronounced two different. Hey, UFC, how it's pronounced two different ways. I don't know what I'm thinking about. Never mind. All right, so this post was made by UFC Frog. That's just, I hope, like, it's not saying anything bad. I just, as far as my channel, I have to move on because it gets me upset, and it's just, you know, where I'm at. So we're gonna talk about Jennifer. UFC Frog. You can't prove it. I'm not saying it's not the case, but you can't prove it. I understand where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from. But we can't prove it. That's the unfortunate part. So let's go with, and that'll bring me to my next point. Jennifer, I always say this wrong. Coffin Doffer. What we can is the car was seen Saturday. UFC, again, I just show me an image of the car actually seen, and then I'll agree with you. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But thank you for being respectful about it. And I do, hey, like I said, I am not going to deny there are some weird things. But Jennifer Coffindoffer, I hope I got that right. She is a former FBI agent. that I respect. You know, I know some people have an issue with her. I do not. So she put this. Now she is a former FBI agent, obviously really well known. And hey, look here. She's a former law enforcement, and she has had a lot of issues and voiced them with how this investigation was handled. And so disclaimer on this. And Punkette, remind me. So one thing that that I will say is that I do not appreciate. So Punkette did remember I sent you that screenshot? Didn't they say that they were going to have a presser um, today to address where they were at? Well, I noticed then they edited that out of their Facebook post and edited that part out, and I just thought that was weird. But so she said, yeah, she does. You know, she has connections. Obviously, we don't, and she's been following this closely, and she has said that she, you know, is not convinced that there wasn't some form of foul play involved. She did give me permission to reach out to her, so I'm actually going to talk to her. I'm hoping we can get something to map out where she can just kind of, I would love her to come on and tell us, okay, how does the process work when you're you know, like I just think it would be cool to understand the back end of some of it, how the, you know, whole process of everything works. So UFC Frog, I do appreciate you coming in here and being kind about it, though. So she says, I asked for clarity and it came. Investigation complete. Without, I cannot say this word, equivocation. Sorry, I just butchered that. The laptop and other items purported to Kiely Rodni's are hers. So that confirms that they are hers. Not planted, but left behind by law enforcement. Shame on law enforcement for not properly handling the investigation. The windows should have been sealed. Let me go up to her. Oh, fuck. What is the deal? The windows should have been sealed. Divers should have documented the state of the vehicle and its contents while it was underwater. I understand why Ellie didn't find her car, but not protecting items from the car is vital to a valid accident investigation is wrong. Sorry to Kylie's family, you deserved better. Now, we have not gotten official confirmation that that you know, the investigation is complete by any means. I do believe she probably has some inside sources. She probably reached out and said, "Hey, I'm gonna need. Can you give me some idea of where we're at with this?" I do think that it's done, and that's my opinion. As far as waiting for the autopsy results and all of that stuff, they already have it, in my opinion. They know the cause of death. I mean, I don't know it, but I have a very good idea that they know the cause of death, and I know that they're buying time with a toxicology report. I think we know what that's probably going to come back at as them finding, you know, Jennifer said it best, finding that stuff afterwards, regardless of how, you know, everybody's like, well, he's. Some people think he was a fake, some people don't. Regardless, it's hers, right? Regardless, that stuff is hers, and it is mind blowing that the stuff was left there. It's mind blowing. Yeah, exactly, Punkette. And you know, as far as mom goes, I don't understand. I don't know what that community is like. So it's really hard for me to gauge, but at the end of the day, there were a lot of they did a really terrible job. Law enforcement did. And I mean, we hear that from FBI who says straight up, this was a terrible investigation. Yeah, Punkette, that's the thing is not everyone agrees with me, and that's okay. People keep saying, well, if it was my daughter, I would want to know. If it was my daughter, I would want to know. But that's the thing, y'all. It's not our daughter. She's not. We don't get to choose. Yeah, I would definitely like to know. I would like to know how it happened. I would like to know if somebody was involved. I would like to know how this this law enforcement could run such a crappy investigation. I would like to know all of that, but the bottom line is I don't know that we ever will. And to speculate, to and please make no mistake, we're all creators, okay? We're all creators. First, we were all created. Like we're creators. If you're on here and you have a channel, you're a creator, right? Everyone knows. I'm not even gonna say it. You get what I'm saying. Bottom line is that's where we're at. I don't think we're gonna know anymore until they do a presser, which I thought was today. We know that Check It TV, I believe it was, is the one that found the laptop and a lot of other paraphernalia. And it's my understanding they gave it to the family, or some. No, law enforcement has it now, but the family was very, very thankful that that happened. Hey, Beatlemaniac, that they got some. I know, like as a family, I would be thankful to get that stuff back. Um, right, and right, Punket. They I mean, I don't know what else to say other than what Jennifer said. Law enforcement or Kiely's family, I'm really sorry because you deserved better. You did deserve better. As far as like SF investigates, that's the big thing. Exactly, Punkette. I don't know him. I was going to use Natasha from Adams. Yeah, Emily. I mean, it was just I don't know if it was like I don't know what it was, but to botch an investigation as bad as they did, and now it's to the point where you got people diving in the reservoir, finding items that belong to a deceased girl. You got it transferring everywhere, and I get underwater probably there's no like contamination things that's been there for how. Hey Jen, but like it's a complete crap show. Like there's no other way to put it. I mean, good lord, you got people diving in now to look for things. Like you've got a dad asking people. It's just nuts. It's so incredible. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. It's just nuts. And at this point, I don't think that even if they wanted, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Emily said it right. But anyways, I do believe that, in my opinion, they already know what they're gonna say. I do think that they're buying time. So I wonder if they're buying time thinking that it will die down. And then when I mean, look, this isn't the first case that something like this has happened with. Gabby Petito, for good Lord, how long did that go on? Where uh, oh wow, people are doxing law enforcement. Yeah, that's never good. I mean, that went on forever. Laundry was in the garden. Like, remember we had the garden theory, we had all this stuff, and that went on and on and on. And then he was found. And then it was determined it was suicide. And then we found the journal and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, it was really, at this point, as simple as what they originally said. Like, it's just, yeah. Anyways, that's kind of where we're at on that. And yeah, people diving in and stuff, please be careful. It's just not worth. I don't know. Sammy might be a crappy friend, but it doesn't make her a murderer. I'm sorry. I'm sure, like she might be a really crappy friend. She is a very crappy friend, but it doesn't make her a murderer. Did she have something to do with it? I don't know. Did Jagger have something to do with it? I don't know. But what I know is it did, Jen, is I don't want to see anybody else get hurt. Wasn't he in the garden? Oh yeah, he was in the garden and in the tunnels, and it was crazy. It was crazy. And no, if people want to still talk about it, please don't take that is on them. I just am not going to because I just have to focus elsewhere. Because I did it with the Watts case and I drove myself nuts. And look where we're at with the Watts case. The same as when we started. So, but so let's talk about Eliza Fletcher. That is another case. So what we're seeing here is a common denominator of I don't know if it's short staffing, I don't know what it is, but law enforcement, TBI, all that kind of stuff. Hey Brett, like true punkette losing like terrible police work. So let's talk about what happened with Eliza Fletcher because I'm disgusted with that. So Eliza Fletcher, if you don't know, I can tell you this. My Google Earth won't pull up and it's driving me nuts because it's I wish you could understand it. Eliza Fletcher, we know she was found deceased behind that house. We talked about that. So what um it is alleged, I did not hear this, but some people are saying that the DA accidentally let it slip when he was talking about the Memphis shooter that Eliza was shot. I don't know if that's true or not. So there is a like a bug that's driving me crazy. So here's the deal though, if she was shot, I don't think it was done within that 4 minute that like I thought she was killed within the 4 minutes at the parking lot. But if she was shot, they would have seen that in the video. Like you would have seen the gun blast inside for sure, Beatlemaniac inside the car. Um, so I don't know. I didn't hear him slip up and say that, but whatever. So her funeral was Saturday, and if you guys haven't seen pictures for that, I did post some on my community page, and it was downright. It was so horrible. Oh my gosh, Jen, yeah. To see her little blonde-headed boy staring up, confused, as his grandmother just broke down, oh, it's horrible. But so what ended up coming out, this is so frustrating, is that Pookie, Cleotha, Abstin or whatever, he not even allegedly, yeah, allegedly, but it's, confirmed. September 21st, 2021, he assaulted SA and kidnapped another woman. I do have the address, so there was web sleuths. I found it on there. If you dissect it, I found a public safety database that somebody directed me to. So I'm currently working through all the cases that are in the Memphis public safety from 2020 when he got out to 2022. If you can imagine, there's thousands, no, more than that. Like it was like insane amount because I'm looking up all the kidnapping cases and where it is in relation to where Eliza was found and all that stuff. So I will. Oh, thank you, Punkette. Oh, thanks, Brett. What I will say is that he has an MO. He has a pattern, and I am disgusted. So let me tell you really quick before we talk about old Pookie's pattern, because I can't even call him by name. Oh, sorry, I'm upset. Okay. Dad is in prison. Pookie's dad is in prison for murder. Pookie's, I don't know, cousin or brother, James, I still haven't been able to figure that out, is in prison for murdering his ex-girlfriend, and brother Mario is in prison for drugs, illegal weapons, all that. So it's a regular freaking family reunion going on in there. But DNA came back positive, went through CODIS last week. I believe it was September 7th. It came back positive of matching Cleo, Pookie, of a girl that he assaulted and kidnapped in 2021. Now, Memphis PD turned that over to the TBI on September 23rd 2021. This is maddening. Y'all ready? After doing review, oh yes, guys, please make sure you're sharing out Brits and everybody's channel. After doing review, TBI says that, hey, you didn't tell me to rush the order. And if you don't tell me to rush the order, it can take 33 weeks to 49 weeks for DNA results to come back and run it through CODIS. August 29th of 2022, those results came back at exactly, hey Pamela, 49 weeks. Comes back, they run it through CODIS, boom, within 5 days of running it through CODIS, points it to Cleo, do your job. Eliza Fletcher, I'm going to say this because this is a bold statement, would be alive had they done that. Y'all, Eliza Fletcher, and we don't even know. We do not even know how many more people, but based on some of the research of kidnappings and assaults that I've picked up and locations, all of his victims were in, like a 6-mile radius. He stayed close to his brothers. The location of the assault, which was again near a house. Hey, Pops and Sass. They it was done within 3 miles of where Liza's body was found. Within 2.7 miles, I believe it was, of his brother's house. Then, July, girl goes missing, found dead in a cemetery. August, girl goes missing, found dead in a cemetery. Witness a dark sedan or SUV colored vehicle. They couldn't figure out which one. Leaving the scene both times. Still unsolved. Guess how many miles it was? 4.7 miles, I think, from his brother's house. We can't even comprehend. So I do have an idea who the girl was back in September 2021, but they are keeping it, I don't want to dox her out if, it's not worth it. I do not even, he was never rehabilitated. I cannot even imagine how many people this bug and he has done this to. He is a perpetual offender. The other thing that is maddening, and I'm going on my rant because I'm frustrated as heck. He was, my gosh, I gotta look it up. Holy cow, you guys are not gonna believe this. From the age of 11, hey Solo, he was in and out of facilities. It was double digits, y'all. Double digits. Hold on, I gotta get the exact number. Double digits the amount. When he was 14 years old, he essayed another girl violently. Let me get old Cleo's exact numbers because this. So then it's 16. Oh, Pamela, that's right. Please pray for Pamela. Her mom is not well. And 16, I believe it was 16 or 18. 18. He kidnaps Kemper Duran, gets 20 years, gets out with his 80%, 85%, whatever you call that, sentence served. He is a monster. He's a monster. I don't believe he was rehabilitated for 1 second. I believe he got out and probably went back to it in a matter of weeks, if not days. Hey, Mayhem and Miracles. They said the DNA sample from this poor woman. And one reason I don't want to dox her out too, I mean, for the obvious reasons, but also, can you imagine the trauma she's lived with for the last year and the trauma of what uh, exactly, Denise? We can't imagine the trauma she's going through and what's brought up right now. But the DNA was sitting in evidence storage for a year, 49 weeks. There is so something wrong with us. So the assay kit was sent to the investigation bureau 2 days. They followed protocol after the crime allegedly took place on September 21st, 2021. A spokesman for TBI confirmed the dates. I know I'm pausing like some creators, but I'm trying to make sure I get my thoughts because I'm so fired up that um, spokesman for TBI confirmed the dates. However, they noted that evidence against Epstein was placed in a queue of unknown assailant kits as no request was made for TBI analysis to be expedited and no wait, this book, y'all, you know my ADD. Got it. Okay. And no suspect information or DNA standard was included in the submission. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. Eliza went missing Friday. They found slides at the scene, right? That DNA, because it was rushed, TBI said, because it was rushed, was back 48 hours max. Hi, Sandy. Y'all, I don't know if the assailant is an African American, different race. I don't know. Or not the assailant, the victim from the first time. But what I'm saying is we know it can come back. We know it can come back in 2 days. 49 weeks is unacceptable for a victim to have to wait for that to come back. I'm going off on a rant today. It's not like, y'all, can you imagine going through that kind of trauma and then every day, every single day, you don't know if he's going to come back and kill you because you saw him? No problem, Pops and Sass. We can't understand that. Somebody said, if I were Eliza Fletcher's family, I would 100%, with everything in me, sue for wrongful death. And I don't know where they will, because at the end of the day, I don't know that they would win, because they do. TBI has 33 to 49 weeks, and they were at their 49-week mark. And so, but the amount of victims I think I'm going to end up finding, and law enforcement is going to end up finding, exactly, Denise, is, I think, going to be astronomical. Now, there are rumors on Reddit. People are saying, I know, you're all waiting for Bigfoot to come behind me. I know it. Dude, oh, can I please tell you a story? Please. Please, I gotta tell you a story, Punkette. Don't let me forget where I'm at in that story, because I've been meaning to tell you all this, but I didn't feel good this weekend. I gotta tell you a story. You're gonna die laughing. Sorry, guys. It can't even wait. It can't wait. We live in a very small town, and my mother said that, I mean, when I say we live at a small town, we have one stoplight, and our store is not even labeled, like, it's not it's like a mom and pop store. Very small town, redneck farmers. Well, apparently at the store the other day, which is, by the way, it's about a quarter mile down from my house, a van pulled up to the store, my mom said, and there was a guy in a truck, and there was this white van, And all of a sudden, she said, people she had never seen, they jumped out of the van, they threw a magnet that said FBI or something along those lines on the side of the van, came out with these 8, whatever they rifles, surrounded the truck, got the guy out of the truck, cuffed him, threw him in the van, and drove off. Apparently, I mean, it was a talk of the town. It's like it was like nothing she's ever seen, like nothing they've ever seen. I guess the store ended up calling the police saying because people in the store are freaking out. So the store called the police and said, "Look, is this legit?" And they said, "Yes, yes, it was a raid, whatever. They've been following this person." And the store manager was like, "You have got to tell us when something like that is going to go down because I had a like a store full of people going like all these guys get out, and I kid you not, my mother said they took the magnet or whatever they threw on the side, threw it back in the car, threw him, and then boom, gone. It's just like minutes. And all I could think of was y'all saying that the FBI was going to come here, and I got to tell you, for a brief second, I was thinking, "Oh my gosh, are they? What did I? Crap! Like, are they really coming for me?" Oh, I can't, but I guess, yeah, Emily, I guess it really does happen. Like people were legitimately scared. And then when the store owner called, they were like, well, the sheriff's office said, well, we can't, divulge that information in case it gets back to that person. And she's like, oh, I understand that, but you got guys coming out with rifles. Exactly. So you got guys coming out with rifles and, throwing a guy into the van and you slap a magnet on, I'm supposed to be okay. Like it's just, they just somehow like I wish she's like there's got to be some form of communication to just so that I can just be like when it happens, just calm everybody. Yes, punk cat. Anyways, sorry you guys. I just thought you would appreciate that because you're always all joking with me about how I'm going to accidentally end up on the dark web and the FBI is going to come. And who knows? Maybe they did come for me and they got the wrong person. But all right, back to Eliza. Sorry, that was too. I was going to forget it. I knew it. So I know, right, Denise? So people are saying, so I don't think they would win a wrongful death. So on Reddit, there's still speculation about, hey, Mariska, I hope I said that right. Thank you so much. I hope I said that right. I apologize if I didn't. I'm horrible with words. You'll know because when I say Google, I can barely say it. There's still speculation. People are saying, well, we spoke with a friend who says the husband was having an affair. And then I commented, well, who? And they were like, well, a friend that knows the family well. We all heard that before. And then it was, well, a reporter knows that. Okay, so here's the deal. The husband, we don't know him. They were just on vacation. Oh, the whole separation. Well, they were separating. Here's what I'm going to say about that. He might be it, and I don't know this. This is what I'm saying. I'm just using this as an example. He might be he might have been a crappy husband. They might have been separated, but it doesn't make him a murderer. We don't have enough evidence yet to say he was involved in any way, shape, or form. I really don't. And then people were dissecting, well, look at his face in the pictures of the funeral. The face in his he was looking at his son, the pictures I saw. He doesn't even look like a guy that somebody said it well. That somebody right, I believe it was Izzy that lives there said that the more they think about it, it just doesn't make sense because they wouldn't even run in the same circle, like it would be. I understand that it is more than probably not a coincidence. I don't know. It's crazy, the uncle factor. But people also, one thing I want to let you know about that law firm that okay, good, Mariska. Woohoo! The law firm that is in Tennessee. When I say a big law firm, they are a huge law firm in Tennessee that the uncle works for. And Kemper Duran died in 2013. I understand that Cleo was still in prison, but I mean it's not like Kemper still works there and the uncle works there. I would have to look at when the uncle started. But still, there's enough of a difference that, hey, replay crew, thank you. Well, right. So how is it? So the picture I saw, if you go to my community page, is the husband looking at the son, because the poor baby, it makes me emotional, sitting there looking at his grandmother breaking down. How do you look? How do you look? The woman was loved. Like, so I don't know. Will something come of it that he was involved? I don't know, but right now I just don't get that vibe. I just don't get that vibe. I know we wanted to, and I jumped on that board at the beginning, which I still get mad because I jumped on it without facts, but I just don't get that vibe because this guy was a perpetual repeat offender. He should have never been out of prison. I understand the juvenile detention center it does solo, is different. I get that. But I'm telling you guys, he was double digits in and out of juvie until he kidnapped that guy. To essay somebody at 14 years old, like, his mom is so mortified, she is hiding. His mom wants nothing to do with him. He should have gotten way longer than 24 years. Do you remember Brittany Drexel's murderer? Remember? He was in prison. He got out in California, came here, took her, did that, murdered her. There needs to be an overhaul. But most importantly, we have got to figure out a way for this crappy investigation. Shame on FBI, TBI, law enforcement. Hey, in this case, Memphis PD didn't do anything wrong. They did exactly what they're supposed to. No woman should have to go 49, no woman or man should have to go 49 weeks knowing that her kidnapper and assaulter is walking the streets free and could kill her at any second. And exactly, Denise, no woman should have to experience that when you can tell me that a blonde-headed girl, let's just say it, let's call a spade a spade. Remember, I always say I can say that because my daughter has blonde hair and she'd be one that everyone went looking for. um, has it back in 2 days. Not everyone has a family like Eliza's to bring this, to bring attention to it, to say, hey, not everyone has a family fighting for them. So if they don't have a family fighting for them, oh, I thought I killed the bug. If they don't have a family fighting for them, the only people they have is law enforcement and TBI and stuff. Do y'all see what I'm saying? I'm sorry if I sound like I'm lecturing you today. I'm not lecturing you. This is all built up with me in the weekend, and Parker's like letting it go. All, not everybody has people fighting for them. And that breaks my heart. It really does. It breaks my heart. And I think y'all, if you guys want to go back, I would love, 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 love help going through this Memphis public safety database, finding any like assaults or kidnappings that have happened since he got out in 2020, and I can put the dates on. Punka, if you're still here, if there's any chance you could you look up the date he got out of prison in 2020 for me, please, and put it in here. Um, exactly, Denise. I would love to find out how many are within a 10-mile radius. My only prayer is that the other victims get some sort of closure, and that I don't think he will see the light of day again, y'all. There is talk now of the death penalty for him, so whether or not that'll happen, I don't know, but there's no denying it. Eliza Fletcher. Thank you, Solo. Thank you so much. Solo, I will put the link for that on my community post. I welcome, it's basically just data.memphis, Tennessee You know what? Hold on, y'all. Data.memphis. And that should take you to the database. Um, Eliza Fletcher would be alive had TBI not failed this. It's DNA. You run it through CODIS. Okay, so we have that, guys, and then we have Kiely Rodni. We're finding her crap at the bottom of that sounded really bad. Finding her stuff at the bottom of the reservoir. It's not okay. It's not okay. It's not. Hey, Caddy, Texas. No problem. Because there's a blonde-headed little boy that just looked up at his grandmother that never, ever should have had to lose his mother. And these people saying, why was she jogging at 4:30 a.m.? Don't even get me started on that. I don't know. You're right, replay on both cases. You know, what the? If you're understaffed, then we've got a really big problem. And, you know, Jennifer, that we've been talking about, the FBI agent, has said the same. You know, she's very frustrated as well. Do better. Do better. And I don't, you know, I'm a white girl. I'm as white as they come. You cannot tell me that there is not a difference. Okay, if we're talking about rushing cases, should we have to rush cases of assault? Shouldn't that be rush enough? And this is part of why I want Coffin Duffer, I think I said her name right, I want to pick her brain. And she is amazing. She responded right away. She's like, yes, by all means. I said, can I just pick your brain? Because I want to know. Because I know she's frustrated too of why? Why? Oh, replay crew. Yeah, it's why is every assault case not rushed? What merchandise are you talking about, Jeff? Have you there trying to sell merchandise to make money? I don't have any merchandise. Hey, S. Hockett. I mean, I don't have any merchandise. Did I try to sell something, y'all? Hey, Chloe. I'm scrolling across the bottom for anybody that tips, but that's just like half the time I forget to say anything. So I think Kylie Rodney merchandise? Hey, Izzy, I was just mentioning you. I'm not selling any Kylie Rodney merchandise, and I talked about it for maybe 2 seconds. But anyways, moving on. I'm sorry if you feel like I was trying to sell her. I wasn't. I was saying that actually I was moving on. And anyways, so yeah. So my whole point is we just have to do better. I don't know. Punkat, yeah, or whoever, you can do your job because I'm not sure. Jeff, everybody's welcome here, but I'm not selling Kylie stuff. It was, anyways, I'm a little bit confused, guys. Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'm selling feet pics. Jeff, you're welcome back at a later time. Trish. Oh man. But anyways, oh Jeff, oh Jeff, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Oh, okay, Jeff. I apologize. So I was like, did I have posters or something? You're kidding me. They were doing that, y'all? That is so wrong. That is so wrong. Thanks, Jeff, for clarifying. I apologize about that. I was just confused. Oh my gosh. Wow. 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 Yeah, Jeff, no, I was like, "Holy cow." Um, yeah. So, I would yeah, anybody that finds other cases, I would welcome the help. I think there was, let's see, from 2000, there's like 1 million cases or something. So I'm just looking from 2020 to September 1st, basically, or the day Eliza went missing. And God bless her family. And you know what? I know they have money and stuff, but I hope that perhaps they can maybe do a wrongful death suit, because it is hard, y'all. Because if I can guarantee you, it wasn't just Eliza, or it wasn't just Eliza he's done this to. You don't, like, just a perpetual offender like that doesn't just say, hey, once a year I'm going to go ahead and do it. Now I will say that this is important too. I did see on Facebook a girl that attends University of Memphis said that she parks in the same location. Oh, nothing, Chloe. It is Solo for sure, Izzy. Nothing, Chloe. I was just going over what Jennifer said, the FBI agent, former retired FBI agent, who has sources that said the investigation is pretty much, yeah, it's over. So there's really nothing. Just saying that, yeah. Um, Crap. I just lost my train of thought. You know, I can't talk and do this stuff. Um, yeah. I just think that there's probably going to be more people that we find that he has harmed. Oh. Yeah, it does, Denise. And you know what? That family. So the husband actually looked more along the lines of in a shocked state. What's that like when he just looked like emotionless? Just. But I will say that. So the girl from University of this is where I was going with it, from the University of Memphis said that she parks in the same spot as Cleo did. So Izzy, I heard that. Can you find that for me, Izzy? I can't find that. So she said that they believe that that is the vehicle that had been stalking out the cross country team for a month before that the girls were playing about. I think it'll be ruled an accident, Chloe, but I don't know. And that's not confirmed by law enforcement. That was just, she had contacted FBI and said, I need some clarity on this. And they basically told her it was finished, all this stuff. So I think he's still here, punk. He had said up there that he didn't mean me. So I do believe, so somebody said that they thought maybe Eliza, he thought she was a student. And when I looked at her, I went, she's only 34. She does look young. And I hate to say this, but this might be a horrible case of Eliza was at the wrong place at the wrong time. And the other thing this girl had a good point on, she said, I go to University of Memphis. I park where Cleo was parked. I don't either. I don't either, Izzy. People were like dissecting how he was acting at the funeral, but the pictures I saw were him looking at his boys. He was in a state of shock. Shock. So at this point, I don't have enough evidence to pin anything on him. Um, and that a friend of a friend of a friend who knows the family isn't cutting it for me. Uh, she said that because school had just come back into session at University of Memphis, and Thursdays are like what is known as the big bar, the happy hour, whatever, Thursday night. So everybody goes to the bar, and there's bars have been packed because everybody's just coming back, friends and stuff like that. So there's not as many people running. And so she suspects, because it was Friday morning, and there wasn't a lot of people running because they'd been out the night before, that potentially Eliza was in the wrong place, the wrong time. Now, the reason I do think that she might have been shot is because of the fact that the other woman he took by gunpoint as well. She did not get killed. I don't know why. So that is one thing that is a little bit different about Eliza is his MO so far. Well, from what we know, right? Who knows how many there are, is he hasn't killed. But that's only ones we know. And I believe he was not prepared for the fight Eliza put up. So, Izzy, I lost my husband and not in a way he lost his wife. I can't imagine. Exactly, Izzy. And when you look at her boy, I think her oldest boy is 5 or 6. If you go to my community page, it's just oh. Exactly, Denise. So I am frustrated about the case, y'all. That's where we're at with that. But I just wanted to let you know that I am going to keep digging into the amount of women that he might have done something to, because at the end of the day, if he did anything within the last year, well, we know 2021 didn't come back. So I mean, I would like to put a trace on it to say, here's a girl within the 4 pound. Because remember, I told you so far, everything I found, all of his victims have been with, hey, Jingles, within a 10 mile, closer than that, 5 to 8 mile radius. So I would like to be able to say, like, hey, we looked into this person. This is his MO. This is his, this is what he's done or whatever. I mean, we know, according to neighbors of the brother, that he was offering women $100 in the parking lot to do things with him. He's a monster. And Eliza Fletcher would be alive. That's a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard pill to swallow. But my son is going to be home shortly, and I don't want another second to go by before I forget to talk about this because this is super important as well. This case, I know, Denise, but you know what? If they have the finances, but right now, like I said, her mother and her husband look such in a state of shock. I think they're just trying to like, I can't imagine. Grief is a funny thing. I don't think we can fully understand it unless you've lived it. All right, so I want to talk really quick about. I'm going to do a deeper dive. I just found this case actually. So his name is Lucian, is how I figured it was pronounced. Oh, he is. So this is what we found about him. He is a 4-year-old, and I want to don't tune out, guys, because um, I just want to make sure I've got the exact facts. And I had it all pulled up, and so I'm going to show you the picture of where he went missing. One second. He went missing last night at, oh, this bug. It's like one of those little fruit fly type things. All right, hold on, y'all. Guys, I finally got officially, like I was monetized, and I'll tell you this because I'm transparent about it. I was monetized, but it's taken 2 months for them to verify address. It's crazy. So I finally officially got that verification. So hopefully I'll get some monetization soon. All right, so here is the I know, Denise. I know. Denise, sometime when the time goes on and you've, been able to heal a little bit, I would love if you would come up and just talk about kind of your experience with grief and what it's like to be. I mean, your case that you had is pretty in the spotlight with, like, yeah, it's pretty in the spotlight. It was a pretty big case. And kind of what it feels like to have something in the spotlight. Why is it not popping up? I gotta find this, y'all. All right, well, I'll show you this for now until it comes up. So this is where Lucian Muniga, I think is his name. I can't say it right. He went missing last night about 7:15 from, see where this play, let me zoom in a little bit more. See this playground here? He allegedly was playing. I haven't heard the details around it. His parents say that they looked for him for 15 minutes and then they called law enforcement. First, it came out that he was autistic, but now they're saying he isn't nonverbal. that he does speak when you like call him and stuff, but here we go. Okay. It says that he went missing from Sarge Hubbard Park in Yakima on Saturday night. He was last seen by his parents around 7:15 near the play area. The parents told authorities they searched frantically for him for 15 minutes before calling to report him missing. Lucian is autistic. He has black hair and brown eyes and is 4 foot and 40 pounds. He's wearing a blue shorts and a blue shark shirt. Now, I will say his mom then retracted and said that she did not mean that he is not verbal. He will respond to some things if so. It says Lucian isn't nonverbal as previously reported in the media, according to his parents. It says he will respond to certain things if his mom is calling him and something like this. It says there's 80 search and rescue members on the case, a kayak team on the river. In a press release Saturday night, Yakima Police Chief Matthew Murray reported drones and bloodhounds have been called in to help find Lucian, and Yakima County Search and Rescue has taken over lead of the search. To those who would like to help, and I will post what he was wearing on Facebook page. Now, I will say that one of my biggest fears, obviously, whenever you have, a young child, is there is a really large body of water, which we can kind of see. And look at that river, y'all. Um, how he went missing hasn't been really like talked about it. They just said he went missing from the playground around 7:15. I have a really bad feeling near the river. Um, I just do. But if it's not, absolutely, Mariska, if it's not, if he's not, they don't find it. I hope that Adventures with a Purpose goes there. If it's not, the Air Forces, thank you, Izzy. Really, that's awesome to know. Okay. Does anyone know if Adventures with Purpose has been notified? Because at this point, can we really trust law enforcement to find them? They would be fantastic. Or do they just deal with cars? That's a good question. Does anyone know that? Do they just deal with having to find the vehicle first with people in it, or do they actually look for bodies too? I don't know that much about them. 1 second. I'm so sorry, you guys. Hang on 1 second. My daughter's calling. I don't want to. Oh, children called me to tell me I don't have my shin guards. I forgot my shin guards in my shorts. Please bring them. Like, awesome. Just car. Okay, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate, but yeah. So we'll kind of keep covering this case and dig into it a little bit more. I am really focused too on trying to. I don't want to be. We're going to talk about Crystal Anderson. She's the mom whose son saw her being thrown into the trunk of a car. Jeff, yeah, Jeff, you were never. Oh, Jeff. Oh, so Jeff, you got yeah. It was you're 100% allowed back. I apologize immensely. I think you got timed out because at first we didn't realize, and then once you time somebody out, we can't get you back until that 3 minutes. That was completely my error, Jeff. I apologize immensely. I thought you meant me, but now I understand. We understood what you were saying. So, definitely apologize for that. Oh yeah, Jeff, you're welcome back. My brain was thinking, did I sell Kiely merchandise? But we appreciate you here, Jeff, and I appreciate you dealing with my mistake there. So yeah, we'll dig more into this case and the Crystal Anderson case, and I'm really, like I said, really focused on Eliza Fletcher. Oh, okay, Punkat, and Eliza Fletcher, but not just her necessarily. I'm focused on what cases Cleo might have been involved in as well, and maybe we can kind of get some sort of, hey guys, if you think there's a tip out there that you think is valid that he might be involved in, call it in. Maybe we can help some other women get some closure. So it's focusing on Eliza, but not focusing on Elijah. I get Elijah. Oh my gosh, Eliza, if that makes sense. So, but it looks like I now have to rescue my daughter who forgot her shin guards and socks, even though I put them right by the door. Gotta love her. But I appreciate you guys, and prayers to Eliza's family for sure. Prayers to her boys, for her family, her husband, her mom, everything. Prayers to Kiely's family for healing. And, I hope if foul play was involved, it can be found out. Yep, Denise is always my reminder of that. For sure, Pamela. And that to me was what was like, it's maddening. Thanks, Mariska. Oh, Aaron, they're so terrible lately. My son's about to plow through here. They're so bad. So bad. But, yep, Punkat said that perfectly.
Mommy?
Hold on, buddy.
Can I
he's
have a computer?
Oh, he wants a computer.
Hey, Belle, for watching YouTube.
Okay, he just came in wanting a computer. All right, guys, I appreciate you. I'll talk to you later. Thanks so much, guys.
Please.